Good morning, 7th grade. It is Friday, April 17th, and we are doing Lesson 101 today. It involves quite a bit of writing, and so I thought it'd be easier for us just to use the iPad today. So let's just dive right in. We're going to talk today about translating expressions into equations. And you know what translating is. You do it in Latin class. And so you translate your Latin into English. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to actually translate English phrases into mathematical phrases with symbols. So let's look right here on the left side of our table. What if we want to express twice a number mathematically? We'll look over here. Twice a number we would just write as 2n. Notice you write 2n, not n2. You do not write n2. The 2 that as a factor goes before the variable. Let's look at the next one. 5 more than a number. Now look at this. This is going to be n plus 5. Notice that the 5 more than goes after the variable. You don't have to put it after the variable, but most people will do it when you're writing algebraic expressions. So we would put n plus 5. Now let's look at the next one. 3 less than a number. So we just kind of put the 3 less than on pause and first write n and then subtract 3. 3 less than n is n minus 3. We take a number and we're subtracting 3 from it. Now, let's try something that's a little different. This is the product of a number and 7. Product means multiply, and so we put 7 in front of n. That means 7 times n, the product of a number and 7. Now, let's write a complete equation here. 17 is, now you know what is means. Is means equals, and I put it right there. So I start with 17, is equals. Now, we have this 5 more than. 5 more than, we're going to put that on pause and stick it at the end. And so we would go ahead and first do what's after that. 5 more than what? 5 more than twice a number. Well, we've talked about what twice a number is. Twice a number right here is 2n. We talked about that in the very first translation. So 17 equals 5 more than twice a number. Now, the 5 more than is going to go right here on the end. Uh-oh. Do y'all see something? I see. Look at this. There's a mistake here. 5 more than means I should be adding 5. Uh-oh. So let's go ahead and rewrite that. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And let's just do that one to the side. 17, okay, is 5 more than. We're going to pause that and first write twice a number. Here's twice a number, and 5 more than means we're going to add 5 to it. So I need to go back and fix this slide, don't I? It is 5 more than twice a number. Now let's go ahead and try this next problem. If 5 less than twice a number is 17, what is that number? All righty. Well, let's go ahead and start with 5 less than. Now, 5 less than means I'm going to be subtracting 5, but let's wait on that. Let's first put our variable term. 5 less than what? Twice a number. So I'm going to start with twice a number, and now I'm going to go back and put the 5 less than, because I'm starting with twice a number and then taking 5 away from that. Now, the next word I have is 17. So we know how to write equals 17. That is 17. So 5 less than, there it is, twice a number. So twice a number minus 5 is equal to 17. Now let's solve it. We want to find out what is the number. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. This is a 2-step equation. I'm going to put 2n equals, well, 17 plus 5 is 22. Now my next step is divide both sides by 2. And now my answer is n equals 11. Okay, so 5 less than twice 11. Okay, 11 twice is 22 minus 5 does equal 17. Let's try another one. 10 less than. Let's go ahead and put that on pause and put half of what number? 10 less than half of what number is 30. Now, how am I going to write half of a number? Well, of means multiply, so a half multiplied by n. We can just write that as 1/2 n. Half of a number, but then we're going to go back and put 10 less than that. 10 less than half a number is 30. Okay, let's go ahead and solve that. First step is to look on the side with the variable and add or subtract first, and we're going to subtract 10 because we have to do the opposite of subtracting 10. We're going to add 10. I'm going to bring down my 1/2 n. Minus and plus 10 cancels out. 30 plus 10 is 40. What do I do now to isolate n? I multiply both sides by the reciprocal, and I get n equals 40 times 2, or 80. So 10 less than half of 80, half of 80 is 40, and 10 less than that is 30. There, I've written an equation, which you will need to do, and then use 2 steps to solve it. Add or subtract first. Now, let's go ahead to the homework. So get out your homework worksheet, and let's start with number 13. Write an equation to solve this problem. Now, they really should write an equation and solve it. You have to do both. Now, let's see what they had to start out with here. 3 less than. I'm going to put that on pause for a second and write the next part. The product of 6 and what number? Product means multiply, so the product of 6 and a number would be 6 times n, or 6n. Now I'm going to go back and put in 3 less than. So 3 less than, the product of 6 and a number is 45. Okay, now we're on a homework problem. Now, what is my first step out of 2 steps to solve it? I look on the side with the variable. It's on the left side. Let's add 3 to both sides. The opposite of subtracting 3 is adding 3. Bring down your 6n. 45 plus 3 is 48. What's my next step? My next step is to divide both sides by 6. And now I get n equals 8. And I have solved the equation. Okay, so when I'm looking at your work, I should see an equation and then 2 steps to solve it and your answer boxed at the bottom. Okay, now I haven't done an example like number 20, but you're going to see several of these. Let's look and see what we have here. 2 acute angles in this figure are complementary. What does that mean, complementary? It means they add up to 90 degrees. And so here I'm going to go ahead and put in my box to show the 2 angles together add up to 90 degrees. What are the measures of the 2 angles? All right, now, can I write an equation from this? Well, I know one of my angles has a measurement of 2x. My other angle has a measure of x. And together, they are complementary, or they add up to 90 degrees. So we can make an equation. So I've got the angle 2x plus the angle x together add up to 90 degrees. Now, you've never had this before, but what do I do here to add 2x and 1x? Well, I think you know what to do. 2x plus 1x, let's combine like terms, is 3x. So 3x equals 90. Isolate your variable by dividing both sides by 3, and x equals 30. Now, it says to find the measure of the 2 angles. So let's look at them. Let's remember that my first angle has a measurement of x, and my other angle has a measurement of 2x. So I know that my one angle with a measure of x is 30 degrees, just because x is 30. And then my other angle is 2 times x. Well, that's easy. What is 2 times 30? Well, it's 60. And so my second angle is 60 degrees. And that is how you solve an angle problem using an algebraic equation. Okay, now, you thought I forgot about omissions, didn't you? I did not. So let's go to the next page, and here at the top are your omissions for today. 1, 2, 3, 12, 17, 19, and 23. There are 7 omissions, and we've done 2 from the homework set on the previous page, so you've got 21 problems to do. Please don't forget that you also have your Khan Academy. My K is weird. The Khan Academy assignment is due by midnight tonight, okay? It is due Friday night. That is tonight. It's due tonight at midnight. So you don't want to forget that. You don't want to get a 0 on that. Please, I gave you all week to do it. There's 2 different percent problem sets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 12, 17, 19, and 23 are omitted. You may come to Zoom today. I'll be there at 1 o'clock for 7A and 2 o'clock for 7B. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.